So here we are at another special scenario, and this one is sort of the most advanced problem I'm going to be giving you guys in this course. So I'm going to first summarize it, and then as usual there's going to be a solution. But this time around I kind of invite you to watch the start of my solution so you get the sense of the algorithm and perhaps freeze the video there and then attempt to solve it yourself. So let's get into the scenario. The scenario is you're working on an experimental software that summarizes books. Now, to summarize books, you're going to need to build some tools that give you useful information about books that can be analyzed. So first you've been asked to build a function that basically takes in a text, an entire book, and gives you a frequency dictionary. Basically every word that repeats in the book with a unique word here and the number of times it repeats there. So you can do this either with one function or two, because there's two parts to this problem. The first part of the problem is taking that whole giant book file and breaking it into a list. A list with no punctuation. The second part is then taking that list with no punctuation and creating a frequency dictionary. So you can do these in one function, you can separate them. I'm going to separate. But either way, once you have this dictionary to work with, you can move on to part two. Part two is you're basically going to be given a file with the most common 1,000 words in English language. So what you can do with that is basically now you have every word in a book and how many times it repeats. And now you can basically, in one fell swoop, remove all the common words. So you basically have unique words and how many times they repeat. You rank that, you have real information about the book. And if you want, you can also rank all the capitalized words by using the string method that is .isTitle. So the end result should give you an idea of what the book is about. You're going to have a ranking of every unique word in the book. And in lowercase, you're going to see sort of the unique adjectives, verbs, and nouns that are there. And in uppercase, you're going to have the names of all the most popular characters and places. All right, so I'm going to get into it. I'm going to get into doing my solution. If you need any more clarity on this, I invite you to watch the start of the solution, where I'm not going to write any code, but I'm going to outline the algorithm and its steps. Alright, so in this video, we are going to be doing the top 100 words word ranking scenario. And as I said, this is by far the most complex program in the course. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down the algorithm, and I'm going to basically design this top down. I'm going to write a main function. I'm going to write a set of functions, each of which is going to have a pass in there. And then you're going to have sort of a top level view of the algorithm. And then I'm going to write the individual functions and test them out. So first thing we're going to do is read a file. Second thing we're going to do is remove punctuation and save the file as a list of words. So basically, we can import string and string without punctuation here. Third thing we're going to do is we are going to, this is an optional, but we're going to include an option to filter out non-capitalized words. I'm going to do this inside this function that basically produces this word list. You can do this many different ways. You can do it at the very end, but I figure like the sooner you filter out words you do not want, the less your processing time is. 4 is make a dictionary where each word is a key that has a value of how many times that word repeats in the book. So basically, it's like a frequency dictionary. 5. So 3 and 5 are both options that actually improve the algorithm, but they're not essential to the algorithm. Is include the option to kick out all the common words. So here I have a little directory, word rank scenario, and these are the files I'm going to be using. Harry Potter, that's the book here, and the 1,000 words. See, these are the most common 1,000 words in English, which I'm going to be excluding. So that would get you basically to a frequency dictionary of all the unique words. And the last thing you have to do is figure out how to print that dictionary. Because remember, dictionaries are not ordered. How do you print a dictionary by ranking? That is a little bit of a challenge in itself. Okay, so let's get ourselves started. So what I'm going to do right now, first of all, is I'm going to basically create a main function. So that's main, and that main function is going to be what I'm going to call when we run our program. And in the main function, I'm going to sort of lay out the process of what's going to happen. I guess we can perform the very first thing in there, and that would be reading the file. So I can say something like text equals to open and Harry Potter.txt, and we don't have to actually say read only, but we are going to do that. Next, after I've opened it, I'm going to read it. Text dots. So right now, this text is a string with everything in it. So this is us reading the file. 2, we are going to remove the punctuation and basically save that as a list of words. So at this point, we're going to basically, I'm going to create a word list variable, and that's going to be equal to a remove punctuation method that's going to take text. So I'm going to have to basically create remove punctuation as a method. I'm going to put a pass. So pass. So after you produce a word list of all the words with no punctuation, well, what next? Well, what's next is a dictionary, and that is going to be its own method, and we're going to call it frequency dictionary, and it's going to take in that word list. See, it's a process. It's like a factory. This is functional programming. So after we have that dictionary, then we need to rank it. So but first things first, let's basically create a method for that frequency dictionary. Def frequency dictionary and pass. So now that exists. Last but not least, we need to print that. So we can basically print, we can call a method like this. It's print ranked dictionary. And that's going to take in dictionary. Okay. And this is a method that needs to come into existence. And it can come into existence with pass. So that right there is the top level view of the algorithm that we are going to use. So I'm going to stop here because this is ideally left as a separate video, which gives you an opportunity to take this hint, this elaborated process of how I plan to tackle it, and try to implement it yourself.